Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 action sci-fi film Primal Games. The film is written and directed by David Ryan Keith, and it stars John Love, Hannah Bangbends, and Gary Casper. Right, the film follows a married couple. We have got Ben and Sarah. They are on holiday in their RV, just got married, they're on the honeymoon, and they pick up, a hitchhiker, really. His van has broken down, he needs some help. The husband offers him a lift, the wife doesn't trust him at all, for good reason, because fairly soon after that he attacks them both quite viciously and tries to hunt them down and kill them. They then make a staggering discovery that in actual fact they are game to be hunted by people on vacation. Right, what are my thoughts on Primal Games? Well, I was actually sent this as a screener months ago now. And the thing is, I get sent lots of screeners, and there's only a small percentage of them that I have time to kind of watch and review. Sometimes they'll send me screeners, and I will request, can I have a screener for this one? Can I have ones that I know I want to watch and review, and some that I just get sent. And I was, looking for something new to watch and review for the channel, sort of thing. So I was looking through my screeners lists, and I saw this one. I thought, oh, well, you know what? Why not? It's gonna be low budgeted and all this kind of stuff, but it could be quite fun. Sometimes you do watch screeners and they surprise you. They're actually far better than you expected. Don't get me wrong; many of them are terrible, or are not very good at all. So I wasn't expecting miracles or anything like that with this one for sure. But after watching it, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. Now, I hadn't seen the trailer or anything going into this, so I was pleasantly surprised by the... I don't know if you want to call it a twist. We'll call it a twist. In this film, I thought it was this just married couple, on the honeymoon, and then they get kind of attacked and hunted. And I thought it was going to be, another type of hard target type film, the usual, type of film that we see over and over again. That's what I kind of expected. But no, this turned out to have a sci-fi twist to it that I wasn't expecting. And I'm actually going to talk a little... I'm not going to give massive spoilers away, but I don't see as a problem of me discussing some aspects of it, because it's in the trailer at the end of the day. And it turns out, in actual fact, that they are in what would seem to be some kind of futuristic theme park, if you like, where people can pay lots of money to go on vacation and hunt variations of this married couple, if you like, for their own sporting pleasure. They can do what they want with them. And I thought that was an interesting twist. They didn't expect that at all. I really didn't. But it was interesting. And then from that point on, the film kind of then descends into typical sci-fi action. I mean, there's some dumb stuff going on in here that they kind of borrow from other films, fairly recent ones as well. There was that, is it Companion, that sci-fi film where you've got that robot and she doesn't know she's a robot, and then when she does, she can figure out that she can scale up her aggression and that kind of stuff. Well, they got a very similar concept in this film as well. The husband, Ben, discovers that the people who are hunting them, if you can get their phones and get into the phone, you can up their intelligence, their aggression, all that kind of stuff to make them more dangerous. Why you do that, I don't know. I mean, they do mention it in the film that, you can make this thing as easy as hard as you want, and it is dangerous. It's not doesn't mean you can't get hurt. But the safety device in regards to these guys getting hold of it and upping their aggression and stuff, it just seemed a little bit silly. But eventually it kind of descends into waves of enemies that Ben and the wife Sarah start taking down because they've upped their abilities, sort of thing. But there's also a tongue-in-cheek aspect to this as well. I certainly felt some of the people that were doing the hunting, they were almost like caricatures of people. They didn't feel like real people in any way, really. But it was actually quite graphic as well at times, this film. In regards to the violence that it showed. And it ended in what you could only really describe as predictable, I suppose. But this was a real surprise for me. I didn't expect this to be anywhere near as fun as it was. While I wouldn't describe this as a good film or anything like that, it's entertaining, it's got a fun concept, and it kind of runs with it and knows what it is. And I think that sometimes goes a long way with lower budgeted type of films, the uncorked entertainment type films, that kind of stuff. It knows what it is, it's comfortable with what it is. It's put quite a lot of effort into the action scenes, the violence and all this kind of stuff, and it's got a fairly interesting moral story going on, and interesting story going on in regards to the two main characters, and what happens to them in this hunting ground arena, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, this is far better than I expected. It's one of those screeners, thankfully, that I've watched, and glad that I've watched and thought, yeah, that was pretty decent. Is it something that you guys are going to watch and adore? Absolutely not. But it is the sort of thing you'll see on streaming services, and you'll see this poster, and you'll be kind of like, oh God. I mean, they've not done themselves a great deal of justice with the poster or anything like that, but it is better than maybe the poster would suggest. So yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 6 out of 10. I don't think I could go any higher than that, but I was certainly pleasantly surprised and entertained by this one. So thanks for watching the review. If you enjoyed the review, please click the like button. It is very, very helpful for the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You would be most welcome, and I will of course be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.